Boxing King Media, powered by BYD. Mr. Dev Sahni, from the magnificent Sat to what's this called?
This is go big or go home. So you're referring to when I said the Magnificent Seven was the Magnificent Sat because of the Punjabi that I know. So go big or go home. You translate that. Go vadda or go kar. So I know those words. So there you go. Go vadda, go kar. I love that Indabasi's on, by the way. So I might be able to have a bit of banter with him around this show. So we out here. We out here, mate. How are you?
You don't know how many people in India might tune in just because of that intro now.
There you go. There you go. Make sure you tune in. You know, there's plenty to watch, and I'm sure. Look, I'm sure the people of India and all of the Indian subcontinent will be interested in the main event. Joe Joyce, Derek Chisora, head-on collision. Just a brilliant heavyweight fight. I felt like initially when it got announced, it was like, oh, okay, cool. So they're going to fight each other. But as it's got closer, it's built. Derek's been great in the build-up. Joe's been great in the build-up. They've got a good kind of chemistry, and it all works. And I think I know I'm very excited. I think people are very excited about this fight on Saturday.
Indeed, they are. That press conference lived up to expectation. I spoke to Derek before the press, and I said, "Well, what can we expect today?" And he just went, "Expect the unexpected."
Great. Look, I have now done 3 Derek Chisora press conferences. The first one was Tyson Fury, the third fight at Tottenham Stadium. And in my head, it was like, oh, this is going to go off. You've got Fury talks like this, Chisora talks like this, the table's going to go. And it was so tame. And they were just talking about how good friends they are. And I was very disappointed. And then I've done the 2 for this fight. And Chisora's been great. He's interacted with me as well, called me a rat the first presser, a weasel in this presser just now. So, you know, great stuff. But he's entertainment, isn't he?
I want to know what went through your mind the moment he grabbed your chair and started dragging you towards him.
I thought, if this carries on, I'm going to go and get Adam Morley and stick it on him. No, it's all just part of the show, isn't it? I just thought of, he's not going to beat me up, is he? Is he?
I just don't know.
I don't know. We get on quite well. He come on the stream afterwards. He come up behind me, got me in off a headlock. This is like someone sort of bullied, saying, "Oh, we get on so well. It's all banter, isn't it? All banter." But he's a great guy. It's great fun.
Is he gonna do it? Because it's a bit weird for Queensberry, this, isn't it? Frank worked with Derek. You know, that got such a long relationship, and now it's like for Frank, he wants Joe to win.
I don't know if he's going to do it. I feel like the fight is closer than it's ever been in terms of like it being a 50-50. I'd still probably favour Joyce, like the bookies have favoured Joyce. But it's all about, you know, what version of Joe Joyce have we got? Because, of course, we saw the Cash Ali fight. He didn't seem like vintage Juggernaut. If it's not vintage Juggernaut, if it's a lesser version of Joe Joyce, does that leave a window open for Derek Chisora to land that big right hand and do what he wants to do? I don't know. I'm fascinated. I've listened to a few like predictions and kind of podcasts about this fight, and people are like me here. They can't quite pick it. They think probably Joyce, but there's a real chance that Chisora could do it. And when you add in the emotion of it being his last fight at the O2, he said he might cry on the ring walk. When he spoke to me on the stream, he said he might cry on the ring walk. It means that much. He's done so many amazing things in that venue, and it's a big moment for him to say goodbye. He doesn't want to go out on his back on Saturday night. Too much pride, too much hunger, too much war. Let's see.
It is what you said. I think you kind of summed it up nicely, because when I spoke to him earlier, I just said to him, I want to thank you for all the memories, no matter what happens, because he has been like... whenever he fights, you're always going to be tuned in and watch him.
He's a character. He's one of the best characters that we have currently in the sport. You go back through some of the things that he's done, like when he kissed that fella at the weigh-in, when he spat water in the face of the 2 Klitschko brothers. Remember that? He had Vitaly there and he had Vladimir there. You know, I'm not condoning spitting in people's faces, but it's an iconic kind of moment, isn't it? He did that, the stuff with David Hay, having a roll about with him. He got glassed. There's just, all the stuff with Dillian White, the weird analogies. You know, he's been great. People say he's servant to British boxing. I think he's a British boxing
driver.
Well, listen, we'll leave that with him. But I think he's without doubt a British boxing legend. I think Joe Joyce is also a British boxing legend. Let's not forget him. Let's not forget how decorated he has been as an amateur, proudly representing the UK, picking up that silver medal. He's given us some unbelievable nights so far in his heavyweight career. That win over Joe Parker. Oh, he's a juggernaut as well. I can't wait for this fight, and I'll be happy for the winner, and I'll be sad for the loser on Saturday. I'm quite invested.
One interesting point on this fight. So I had the pleasure of speaking to USYK yesterday, and
I brought that up.
you did bring it up. Yeah, I appreciate you doing that. So hopefully loads of people will tune in and watch it now as well. But it's the first interview he's done since his fight, and he's been reluctant. He was telling me off camera that he just don't want to do them, and so it took a lot of convincing to get that over the line. So we got it done, and one of the things that stuck out to me was he obviously, you mentioned it there. He said Chisora was the biggest puncher. He has said that before, so he's genuine about that as well. And he said about, and the options I gave him, Joe wasn't even in the list. So it's quite interesting that he deliberately missed Tony Bellew, JJ, Chisora, and who else? Missed somebody else, AJ. I've just AJ, but you get what I'm saying. So he missed them all. And he just mentioned Joe from the amateur days.
Yeah, look, it's interesting. I think the thing with USYK, what we know is USYK isn't one of these to just make stuff up for a headline. If he says something, it tends to be because he feels that way. I know he's very passionate about saying that Derek Chisora is the hardest hitter that he has felt in the ring. And when you put that into the context of Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, and cruiserweight Murat Gassiev, Tony Bellew, Tyson Fury has got plenty of knockouts as well as a heavyweight, and he did shake him up in their fight. When you put it in the context of all of that, and he says it's Chisora, you got to put some respect on the name of Derek Chisora. And it's not like you're looking back at that fight and you think, oh yeah, it must have been this shot. I can't, off the top of my head, think of what shot it was. That I just know that he's sort of tried to overwhelm him and landed a few shots in there. But listen,
he described it to me as the shots on his gloves, and he could feel them, the vibrations.
Well, listen, he'll be landing the same sort of shots, or looking to land the same sort of shots on Saturday against Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce has got a legendary chin, but there's so much more to Joe Joyce. The feeling is that Joe Joyce should be able to stand up to those shots, as we've seen so many times over the years, but there is now that question mark because he has been knocked out by Zhilei Zhang. So let's see.
Last question, the undercard, I'll fly through it. For me, I said this to him a few months ago, Dennis McCann, a proper rating for rematching Baluta.
Why'd you hate him?
No, rating. So I said, I know for a fact most young fighters would be, not the fighter themselves, they'd be advised not to take fights like that, because the first one was so hard. I know, I love that about it.
Yeah, he wanted it as soon as the first fight was done. There's unfinished business. He would have taken it in his next fight. What he's done by not taking it in his next fight is that he picked up a brilliant win over an unbeaten Brad Strand, picked up a title, and now he's made this fight bigger because now the European title was on the line. He's kind of he's British champion. He got that belt after Liam Davis vacated it. Liam Davis vacated the European title. Dennis McCann's going for that as well. It will be very, very interesting. I love the build-up. I love that Baluta was giving it some after suggesting maybe he wouldn't give it some. So, yeah, very, very good fight. And ratings, as you say, to Dennis McCann for seeking it, because it's not an easy fight. More context there. Baluta has a win over TJ Doheny. TJ Doheny is about to fight Naoya Inoue. So that's the level of win. You watch his fights against Mick Conlan, he's got a win over Andrew Kane, right? Like, he's serious guy. So it's a challenge for Dennis McCann, but he's gone up to Liverpool. He's up with Joe McNally. He says he's bigger, stronger, faster, all of those things. If he is, maybe he can get the job done.
Indeed. So, right, we'll see who goes big and who goes home on Saturday. And thank you for your time, Dev.
No worries. See you then. Enjoy.